That is hilarious.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most side-splitting jokes, running gags, and scenes in the MCU.
I'm lame compared. Like, I fought a Russian guy in a rhinoceros machine.
Number 30. On your left, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Captain America: The Winter Soldier was one of the darkest films in the first two phases of the MCU. Despite its heavy tone, the Russo brother-directed film still had a few funny bits that we could never forget. In the first few moments of the movie, our favorite super soldier, Steven, is going out for a jog. When he races by Sam Wilson, Cap tells him to look sharp with 3 classic words.
On your left.
On my left. Got it.
The phrase only gets funnier every time Steve outshines the Air Force vet. Cap would even throw the phrase out while hospitalized. Not to be outdone, Sam threw "on your left" right out when he returned from being blipped.
Cap, it's Sam. Can you hear me? On your left.
Number 29. Squidward. Avengers: Infinity War. Tony Stark's talent for delivering great quips and well-timed burns was at full display during Infinity War. We loved the impromptu wedding invitation he gave to Wong and his plea for the Hulk's help.
Dude, you're embarrassing me in front of the wizard.
I'm sorry, either I can't or he won't.
And while we could have picked virtually anything Tony said to the Guardians, we think that one of his earliest jokes reigns supreme. When Ebony Maw arrives on Earth, he delivers an intimidating monologue. Tony proves he's not intimidated by the child of Thanos by delivering a Nickelodeon-themed insult.
Trespassing in this city and on this planet. It means get lost, Squidward.
He exhausts me.
While we're positive that Ebony Maw didn't get the reference, we love the cartoonish burn. Number 28. Ant-Man's Taco. Avengers: Endgame.
Hey, Yumi! Where's Big Green?
Kitchen, I think.
When the size-changing hero was officially invited to join the Avengers, he had to quickly adjust to a team full of aliens and enhanced humans. One of the best scenes to depict his growing pains occurred on the team's base. Just as Scott is about to enjoy lunch outside, Nebula and Rocket arrive in their ship. The intense wind produced by their landing is strong enough to knock out all of his taco fillings. Although it looked like he could at least enjoy the shell, that dream shattered when Rhodey landed next to him.
Oh, God.
What's up, regular size man?
The revelation that Scott was in the Avengers landing zone the whole time made the scene even funnier. Thankfully, Hulk was there with a couple of extra tacos and a friendly face. Number 27. Rocket's obsession with prosthetic limbs. Guardians of the Galaxy. Shortly after Rocket was introduced, it became clear that he had a twisted sense of humor. While planning a prison escape, he insists that he needs a prisoner's prosthetic leg.
That dude there. I need his prosthetic leg. His leg? Yeah. God knows I don't need the rest of him. Look at him, he's useless.
Peter works hard to get the limb, only to discover that Rocket was joking about needing it.
Here you go.
Oh, I was just kidding about the leg. I just need these 2 things.
What?
No, I thought it'd be funny. Wasn't funny?
But the furry Guardian wasn't satisfied with this one incident. During Infinity War, Rocket casually reveals a prosthetic eye he stole and gives it to Thor. Later on in the film, the Guardian tries to get his hands on Bucky's arm. The Winter Soldier's refusal seemed to mark the only time Rocket failed to get the prosthetic he wanted.
How much for the arm? Oh, I'll get that arm.
Fortunately for the Guardian, Nebula remembered his hilarious obsession during the holiday season. Number 26. Shawarma. The Avengers. The first public Avengers outing saw the team work together to take down an alien army that had assembled in New York. After beating the Chitauri, the team definitely earned a meal. Fortunately, Tony had a great suggestion.
All right, hey. All right, good job, guys. Let's just not come in tomorrow. Let's just take a day.
It initially seemed like the victory banquet would occur off-screen. However, audiences were pleasantly surprised when a post-credit scene showed the Avengers chowing down in a ruined restaurant. The behind-the-scenes details about this sequence make it funnier in hindsight. Since Chris Evans had a beard when this last-minute scene was filmed, Cap covers his face. Hemsworth also nearly got sick because he ate too many pitas over multiple takes. We're thankful small details didn't stop us from sharing a meal with the Avengers.
All right, good job, guys. Let's just not come in tomorrow. Let's just take a day. You ever tried shawarma? There's a shawarma joint about 2 blocks from here. I don't know what it is, but I want to try it.
We're not finished yet.
And then shawarma after.
Number 25. Stan Lee delivery. Captain America: Civil War. Over the course of few decades, the late great Stan Lee tried to cameo in as many Marvel films as possible. While all of his appearances were fantastic, his surprising role in Civil War was particularly memorable. The iconic scene takes place near the end, as Rhodey is in the middle of intense physical therapy. After the scene takes a grim turn, Stan Lee arrives with a package and funny nickname for Iron Man.
Are you Tony Stank?
Yes, this is Tony Stank.
The cameo would have left us in stitches in any film, but the fact that Lee delivered a crucial item while breaking the tension between Avengers made it better. Just a year later, we got to see the legend make another important and laugh-out-loud cameo in Guardians 2.
Fellas, hey wait, where are you going? Hey, you were supposed to be my lift home. How will I get out of here?
Number 24, Steve meets Groot, Avengers Infinity War. Back in the first Guardians film, Rocket explained that Groot has rather limited vocabulistics. If you want to understand the sentient tree, you either need to spend a lot of time with him or learn his language like Thor did.
I'm Groot!
Tree, pour what's in the cup out into space and go in the cup again.
You speak Groot?
Yes, they taught it on Asgard. It was an elective.
Cap definitely hadn't done either when he first met Groot in Wakanda. When Thor introduces the tree to Steve, the Avenger completely misunderstands the intent of the alien's words.
Oh, by the way, this is a friend of mine, Tree.
I am Groot!
I am Steve Rogers.
Cap's response left us rolling on the floor because it was so perfectly in character for him. Hopefully Groot was saying something PG when he first met Steve.
I am Groot.
Whoa!
Hey!
You got some acorns on you, kid.
Number 23, Tony Gets Undressed, Iron Man. We never know what to expect when Tony Stark dons or doffs his Iron Man armor. Either we'll get a badass scene of him suiting up in a cool way, or we'll be treated to a hysterical joke. The first Iron Man gave us one of the best examples of the latter trend. After Tony used his Iron Man suit to take down 10 Rings villains, we were expecting a serious or contemplative scene. Instead, we're treated to a gut-busting sequence where he struggles to get undressed.
So the more you struggle, the more this is going to hurt.
Be gentle, it's my first time.
I designed this to come off.
Tony's asides were fantastic by themselves, but Pepper's sudden entrance made the scene better by giving Iron Man a chance to deliver one of his best quips.
What's going on here?
Let's face it, this is not the worst thing you've caught me doing.
Number 22, the three Spider-Men hang out. Spider-Man No Way Home. No Way Home was an epic movie that also served as a huge love letter to the Spider-Man franchise. The movie took time to pay homage to the famous pointing meme when the trio got confused about which Peter was being called upon. After that fantastic reference, the three heroes decided to come up with an efficient and hilarious naming system.
Okay, Peter 1, Peter 2,
Peter 2,
Peter 3.
Peter 3.
All right, let's do this. Ready?
The best moment between the trio came when they got a moment to talk about their histories. During the lighthearted conversation, the Peters asked the questions we always wanted to know.
Does it just come out of your wrists, or does it come out of anywhere else?
Only the wrists. You never had a web block? Because I run out of webs all the time.
They even have time to give a quick chiropractor lesson. Although we love the action in the movie, we wouldn't mind just watching the three Spideys talk for hours on end.
I fought an alien made out of black goo once.
Oh, no way. I fought an alien too. On Earth and in...
Number 21, Mantis exposes Peter. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. At the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Peter Quill struggles to keep his growing feelings for Gamora under wraps. Unfortunately, he's exposed shortly after the group meets Mantis. The empathic alien doesn't hesitate to tell the team that she has the power to read the emotions of everyone around her. When Mantis turns her abilities on Peter, his feelings for Gamora are laid bare for everyone to see.
Romantic. Sexual love.
No, I don't.
For her.
No, that is not.
Drax's over-the-top reaction to Star-Lord's embarrassment made for comic gold. While Quill may not have loved how the truth came out, we'll always adore this hysterical scene.
So embarrassed! Do me!
Number 20, Work Pals, Thor Ragnarok. Thor's arrival on the planet Sakaar doesn't begin very auspiciously. He's captured almost immediately and forced to become a gladiator in an arena where the guy made of rocks is considered pretty average.
Hey, take it easy, man. Over here, there's a pile of rocks waving at you. Here. Yeah, I'm actually a thing. I'm a being.
His brother Loki has also schemed his way into the good graces of the local Grandmaster. Things look even more grim as the reigning champion is hyped up for the crowd.
This is it. Let's get ready to welcome this guy. Here he comes.
But as it turns out, the champion is the Hulk. As hilarious as Loki's immediate desire to be anywhere else is, Thor's happiness is even funnier.
Yes!
I have to get off this planet.
His reference to Hulk being a friend from work is also the funniest possible way to describe their friendship.
We know each other. He's a friend from work.
Number 19, Thor loves coffee / needs a horse. Thor.
This drink, I like it.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe has consistently utilized the fish out of water trope to great effect, with Thor often at the center of it. He's from a different realm after all. One of his funniest moments came during his first visit to Earth. In need of sustenance, Thor hits up a diner, and it's there that his otherworldliness begins to emerge.
Another!
After draining a cup of coffee, he slams it on the floor and demands another before marching into a pet shop and requesting a horse for transportation.
I need a horse!
It's the fact that he's saying these things with 100% sincerity, not to mention a boatload of arrogance, that makes these moments so frickin' hilarious.
What was that?
It was delicious. I want another.
Well, you could have just said so.
I just did.
No, I mean, ask nicely.
Number 18, Get Help, Thor Ragnarok.
Do you truly think so little of me?
Loki, I thought the world of you.
Thor Ragnarok was one seriously funny flick, and much of the humor came from the interplay between adoptive brothers Thor and Loki. In the third act, the duo find themselves in an elevator together. Knowing that when the doors open, they'll be confronted by heavily armed guards, Thor suggests that they do get help.
Hey, let's do Get Help.
What?
Get Help.
No.
Come on, you love it.
I hate it.
It's great. It works every time.
It's humiliating.
Do you have a better plan?
No.
We're doing it.
Loki immediately shoots down the idea, mostly because it involves him pretending to be hurt, so that Thor can launch him towards the slew of unsuspecting guards.
We are not doing Get Help.
Get help! Please! My brother, he's dying!
And while it's definitely humiliating, it's incredibly effective, not to mention funny.
Classic.
Still hate it?
Number 17, Playing Galaga. The Avengers. One of the first meetings between the original Avengers sees the group around a table aboard S.H.I.E.L.D.'s helicarrier. When Tony Stark arrives, he naturally begins talking a mile a minute and drawing attention.
Also, means the portal can open as wide and stay open as long as Loki wants. Raise the missile mast. Ship top sails.
When he begins messing with the ship's controls, he starts rambling a bit, including calling a technician out for secretly playing the arcade game Galaga.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
It seems like a random bit of dialogue from Tony, and a fun reference for people who get it.
I understood that reference.
But at the end of the scene, when Tony leaves, cut to a random S.H.I.E.L.D. tech who indeed begins playing Galaga. Number 16, Tony miscalculates his thrusters, Iron Man.
Okay, let's do this right.
The film that set the standard for all future Marvel flicks, Iron Man remains one of the franchise's funniest entries, and with no shortage of great scenes to choose from, we were hard-pressed to pick just one, so we went with two. The first is when Tony is trying out his thrusters for the first time.
And 3, 2, 1.
Underestimating their power, he asked for 10% thrust capacity and is promptly propelled backwards and into the ceiling, only to be doused by one of his robot assistants with a fire extinguisher. In the second, we see Tony trying out his thrusters again, only this time, he offers up some choice words for his robotic pal.
If you douse me again and I'm not on fire, I'm donating you to City College.
Number 15, Peter's best friend finds out he's Spider-Man. Spider-Man Homecoming.
You're the Spider-Man from YouTube.
I'm not.
Fans waited a long time for Spidey to join the MCU, and when his feature-length Homecoming arrived, it delivered in terms of quality and quality jokes. One of the best moments was when Ned finds out that the masked vigilante known as Spider-Man is none other than his high school buddy. The look on Ned's face when he realizes who Peter has been moonlighting as is priceless.
Ned, what are you doing in my room?
Man, let me in. You said we're gonna finish a Death Star.
You can't just bust into my room.
It's almost as good as the reaction Aunt May had when she discovered the same thing, though with slightly less cursing.
What the f?
Side note, did anyone else wince when Ned dropped that immaculately assembled Death Star? Where were the quick reflexes and Spidey sense when the Empire needed him, Parker?
What was that?
Number 14, Snake Story, Thor Ragnarok. Eager to get off of Sakaar to save Asgard from his sister, Hela, Thor and Bruce Banner ally with Valkyrie to get revenge as the Revengers.
Has it got a name?
It's called the Revenges.
Revenges?
Because I'm getting revenge. You're getting revenge, and what do you want revenge?
I'm undecided.
Valkyrie sweetens their alliance by revealing that she's captured Loki. However, the newly formed team hits a snag. In order to get a ship strong enough to survive the wormhole back, they might have to trust Loki, who has tried to kill them all.
I was just talking to him just a couple of minutes ago, and he was totally ready to kill any of us.
He did try to kill me.
Yes, me too. Many occasions.
As evidence, Thor relates an anecdote from their childhood, wherein Loki turned into a snake, which Thor picked up. Loki then shapeshifted back into himself and stabbed his brother.
There was one time when we were children, he transformed himself into a snake, and he knows that I love snakes. So I went to pick up the snake to admire it, and he transformed back into himself, and he was like, "Yeah, it's me!" And he stabbed me.
Chris Hemsworth's delivery is hilarious. We could watch him say, "Bleh, it's me," on loop, as are Mark Ruffalo and Tom Hiddleston's reactions. Number 13, America's Ass, Avengers Endgame. The time travel in Avengers Endgame offers a huge number of opportunities for comedy. One of the biggest laughs in the movie is the result of a trip back to the aftermath of the first Avengers film. While observing their past selves, Tony Stark comments on Steve Rogers' outfit, declaring that it makes his backside look ridiculous.
That suit did nothing for your ass.
No one asked you to look, Tony.
It's ridiculous.
Ant-Man defends Steve's posterior, saying that he considers it America's ass, and even saluting.
I think you look great, Cap. As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
This alone is outrageously funny, but the gag gets even better when, after defeating his past self in a fight, Cap checks out his own butt and agrees that it's worthy of being America's ass.
That is America's ass.
It certainly makes us laugh our asses off. Number 12, Adopted, The Avengers. Yeah, we're not done with that roundtable scene. It's got so much gold. The Avengers discuss Loki's plan to bring an army of Chitauri to Earth. Bruce Banner claims they shouldn't worry too much about Loki himself, since he's clearly crazy.
I've care how you speak. Loki is beyond reason, but he is of Asgard, and he is my brother.
Although Thor starts to defend his brother, Black Widow cites Loki's mass murder spree.
He killed 80 people in 2 days.
Prompting Thor to swiftly backpedal and mutter weakly that Loki is adopted.
He's adopted?
The contrast between Thor's previously grand manner of speaking with this down-to-earth response is fantastic. It practically encapsulates what makes him such a funny character in general. Number 11, Drax's special skill, Avengers Infinity War. All of the Guardians of the Galaxy are hysterical in their own way, but Drax is something special. When Quill and Gamora have a romantic moment, it's interrupted by an unexpected crunch.
Dude.
We then pull back to see Drax standing there eating nuts. When they ask how long he's been there, Drax claims to have been there for an hour. Furthermore, he asserts that he's able to stand so still that he becomes invisible.
Watch. You're eating a Zarg nut.
But my movement was so slow that it's imperceptible.
No.
His demonstration is less than convincing, but still funny. Mantis saying hi to him may burst Drax's bubble, but it makes us burst out laughing. Clearly, they all broke his concentration. Number 10, Luis's long story, Ant-Man.
So I'm at this art museum with my cousin Ignacio, right? And there was this like abstract expressionism exhibit.
Luis, Scott Lang's motor-mouthed criminal ally, was a straight-up scene stealer in 2015's Ant-Man. And while he gave us plenty to choose from, it's this scene, in which he tells a long-winded story, which made us laugh the most. The scene works because of two things, Luis's rapid-fire storytelling ability, and the fact that he dubs all of the characters that appear on screen.
Yo, I met this crazy fine writer chick at the spot last night. Like, fine, like crazy stupid fine. And he goes up to the bartender and goes, "Look at the girl I'm with."
As it unfolds, one can't help but laugh, particularly the moment when Luis speaks for the big man himself, Stan Lee. Be honest. Did you ever think you'd see the comic book legend mouth the words, "crazy stupid fine"? Yeah, we didn't think so.
Yeah, crazy stupid fine.
Number 9, Meeting Korg, Thor Ragnarok. What kind of list would this be if we didn't include multiple scenes from Thor Ragnarok? Korg, the self-described pile of rocks that Thor meets while imprisoned by the Grand Master, is perhaps the greatest side character in the history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. To date, that is.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Korg. I'm kind of like the leader in here.
The film's New Zealand director, Taika Waititi, voices Korg, and he brings exactly the same kind of wit to the character that he became known for in his previous work.
This whole thing is a circle, but not a real circle, more like a freaky circle.
Korg is laid back, totally deadpan, and incredibly lovable, all of which is on display during his first meeting with the God of Thunder. That rock, paper, scissors joke? Priceless.
You don't need to be afraid unless you're made of scissors. Just a little rock, paper, scissors joke for you.
Number 8, Drax doesn't get metaphors, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with the walking thesaurus on that one.
Do not ever call me at the source.
Guardians of the Galaxy broke the mold in many ways. It proved that superhero films could be silly, and that comedy doesn't always have to take a back seat to action. Leading the way was Drax, who Rocket describes as being completely literal. This means that any metaphors thrown his way will inevitably go over his head. Of course, if you tell him that, he'll quickly remind you nothing goes over his head.
His people are completely literal. Metaphors are gonna go over his head.
Nothing goes over my head. My reflexes are too fast. I would catch it.
Drax only got funnier in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, particularly the scene in which he starkly rebuffs Mantis' advances.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm imagining being with you physically.
Drax, that's not... I don't like you like that.
Number 7. Shakespeare in the Park. The Avengers. Thor meets the other Avengers in dramatic fashion by stealing his brother away from them. Thor's attempts to reach his brother are hilariously interrupted, just as he instructs his brother to listen to him.
I'm listening.
Iron Man knocks Thor into the forest. When Thor tries to tell Tony he has no idea what he's dealing with, Mr. Stark responds by sarcastically comparing Thor to a production of Shakespeare in the Park.
Shakespeare in the Park?
He also compares Thor's cape to his mother's drapes in a thoroughly Shakespearean way. The short sequence is as funny as it is action-packed.
Okay.
Also, if Thor wanted to get Tony back, he could have compared Tony's suit to wearing his father's sports car, if Thor knows what a sports car is. Number 6. Falling for 30 minutes. Thor Ragnarok. When Thor and Loki go looking for Odin on Earth, the brothers are interrupted by Doctor Strange, who separates the pair by making Loki fall through a portal.
What's this? What are you doing?
This isn't me.
Loki.
Strange has an amicable and often funny chat with Thor, in which he agrees to locate Odin if he and Loki leave after they find their father.
We're looking for my father.
So, if I were to tell you where Odin was, all parties concerned would promptly return to Asgard?
Promptly.
Great, then I'll help you.
By the end, the audience has almost forgotten Loki, at least until Doctor Strange opens a portal and Loki collapses onto the ground, declaring that he's been falling for 30 minutes.
I suppose I'll need my brother back.
Oh, yeah, right.
I have been falling for 30 minutes!
Tom Hiddleston's exasperated delivery is gold. Also, would anyone else watch Loki falling for half an hour? Number 5. Spider-Man talks too much. Captain America: Civil War.
Wait, it's nothing, Mr. Stark. It's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't really need to start a conversation.
Okay.
Captain America: Civil War won't go down as one of the funnier entries in the MCU, but that doesn't mean that the superhero thriller is completely devoid of humor. In fact, the banter between Spider-Man and the rest of the superheroes during the iconic airport flight is straight up hilarious.
Those wings carbon fiber?
Is this stuff coming out of you?
That would explain the rigidity-flexibility ratio, which, gotta say, that's awesome.
Of course, the best part comes when he asks Falcon how his wings work, to which he replies, "There's usually not this much talking." Hey, you can't exactly fault the guy. It was his first big-time battle.
I don't know if you've been in a fight before, but there's usually not this much talking.
All right, sorry, my bad.
Number 4. Drax asks why. Avengers: Infinity War. Infinity War leads to the different parts of the MCU coming together in new and often funny ways. Maybe the funniest such scene is when the Guardians of the Galaxy encounter Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange aboard one of Thanos' ships.
Everybody stay where you are, chill the F out!
Although the whole scene is full of great lines, such as the Avengers realizing Star-Lord is from Earth, the best moment happens because of a question from Quill.
Where is Gamora?
Tony Stark replies by asking who Gamora is, and then, prompted by absolutely no one, Drax says,
I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
It's such a bizarre and hysterical line, and it never fails to make us laugh. Number 3. Mary Poppins. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. The Guardians are threatened by the huge Sovereign fleet while trying to save the galaxy from Ego. In a last-ditch effort, Nebula wires herself into the mining ship she, Yondu, and Peter Quill are aboard, launching laser blasts at all the ships around them.
This is gonna hurt!
Promises, promises.
However, the ship explodes as a result. Thankfully, Quill has a jetpack on, and Yondu has a psychic arrow, which lets him float down, and Nebula's a cyborg? Anyway, Quill comments that Yondu looks just like Mary Poppins.
What? You look like Mary Poppins.
His father figure unknowingly asks if he, Poppins, is cool. Quill, not wanting to ruin the moment, replies that he is. Yondu's proud papa moment declaring that he is Mary Poppins is both heartwarming and hilarious, y'all.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all!
Number 2. Lifting Thor's hammer. Avengers Age of Ultron.
Whatever, man, it's a trick.
Well, please be my guest.
We love this scene for so many reasons. For starters, the simple pleasure of watching the Avengers pal it up over a few beers will never get old. Second, the idea that this is what they do in their downtime is just too good. As the gang takes turns trying to lift Thor's hammer, viewers get to revel in the various members' ineptitude, with the exception of Captain America, who actually manages to make Mjolnir quiver.
Come on, Cap.
Nothing.
The look on Thor's face is worth 1,000 words, and the look of relief that follows it when he realizes Cap can't actually lift it is even better. We could watch this scene on a loop.
You're all not worthy.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Puny God, The Avengers. Hulk is definitely more about the physical humor, as demonstrated when he treated Loki like a rag doll in the third act of The Avengers. For the majority of the film, Loki tiptoed his way around trouble, using his various pawns to keep himself out of harm's way.
Enough! You are all of you beneath me. I am a god, you dull creature.
So when the Hulk interrupted Loki's monologue about his own greatness by clobbering him into the ground, it was both relieving and side-splitting. Someone should have reminded Loki that pride comes before the fall. Hulk may be a creature of few words,
Puny God.
but he sure knows how to pick 'em. At least Loki gets to appreciate it from the outside later on.
That's how it feels!
I'm just a huge fan of the sport.
What's your favorite hilarious MCU moment? Let us know in the comments below.
Now I'm standing. You all happy? We're all standing up now. Bunch of jackasses.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.